and welcome back to No Cell Podcast episode 2 covering AEW. I am Dean. That over there is Gio. We're here, I guess, to talk about All Elite Wrestling and the people who like it. I only watch this for y'all, the people. I used to like it. I like certain people in it. I used to like it when it first came out.
And when it was all Elite Wrestling. I got
and then it got weird, and then I was like, all right, I'm done with this. So, but I'm back here now for you. So why don't we go ahead? Why don't you fucking lead the charge with this bullshit? It's fucking
all right. Direct. So first of all, I'm a fan of pro wrestling. I'm a fan of sports entertainment. Let's get that out there. You have shown me the light to a certain extent. I don't know why I have this pen, but I feel official with my jagged pinky.
The pins help everything feel.
I realize that, right? And then I switch with a thought with my sparkling water because I'm a bougie man.
There's nothing wrong with that. You look like somebody who shops at Trader Joe's.
Wait, not see you fucked it up. Hold on.
I'm sorry.
You got to do that.
I hear you. Do you also shop at Trader Joe's? You look like you do.
Okay, so what had happened was, before the pandemic, I always shopped at Trader Joe's, but then they make you wait outside. I was like, no, okay, we going to Costco and doing it big.
Okay.
Back to All Elite Wrestling, AEW. You've shown me the light, and I can't unsee certain things. Once you pull the curtain back and you see things, it's hard. You are the black cornet. I think I'm turning into the PB2 cornet. Like I'm not technically peanut butter on it, cornet, but I'm dehydrated cornet. I'm diet cornet. They're PB2. You know what I mean?
I got you.
The nutrients. Okay, so AEW started off with CM Punk. Basically, he kind of did the same thing.
Hold on. Are we getting into? Hold on. Let's talk about Dynamite that happened on the 25th.
Oh shit! Yeah, my bad. My apologies.
Yeah, no, but you know what though? We have to discuss.
Yeah.
We'll get into Dynamite, but you continue on to talk about. At least we do have to address
because CM
Punk coming back.
I personally,
it was huge.
CM Punk changes the landscape for AEW. I know this is a week old. However, it's still very relevant because this is going to be the future from now on. Because this AEW Dynamite literally had a different, it almost felt like it was getting back to AEW roots. It was like teasing at it. And I think, and it can attest with, Dan Lambert from American Top Team giving his fucking promo. We'll get into that in a sec. But what CM Punk coming, it had a nostalgic feel to it, but it's bringing wrestling back to why it matters. Having someone like CM Punk who went through the indie circle, through Ring of Honor, through ECW, it's bringing that legitimacy back. And
you mean WWE's ECW?
Yes, WWE's ECW. My apologies. He is bringing back that legitimacy. Not okay. It's real. No, he's bringing back the legitimacy of like what pro wrestling should be, because he's not going to be. He'll be one of the boys to a certain extent because he is well known. If he's okay with putting people over, but what is the end result? He is okay of taking of getting the mat tan, but what is the bigger storyline? If it's this kid grab ass shit that sadly has been going on, he's not about it.
Yeah, we're gonna see. I think that what's gonna happen is that CM Punk and everything, and the people that CM Punk deal with are gonna be handled seriously. But I don't necessarily have hope for seeing in fucking AEW as a whole. This shit just sucks in certain regards. But they did well.
This week was good because they dialed it back, and a lot of the silly shit it was almost like they were self-aware.
I would hope so. I really do.
Not even get credit for it
because this shit is just rough sometimes. But all right, so let's just get into the match of Orange Cassidy and Matt Hardy.
What's your thoughts? They royally fucked Matt Hardy coming to AEW. He could have been so much more than he is now. I like Orange Cassidy. I like his whole thing with hands in the pocket and stuff like that, because that shit does not work if you cannot perform in the ring. He can perform in the ring. If he did that shit and doing the kick and he was just a fucking backyard wrestler, it would not work. But he has ring presence and he has charisma and he knows psychology of a match. He builds a match up. The problem is when you have someone like Matt Hardy that wants to have a 47-minute match, you're not going to get the best out of him.
Well, here's what I got to say. First off, to Orange Cassidy and him in the pockets. You want to know why? I can't fucking take this guy serious because you're exposing your own business. How really the hands in it? You're that cool that you can't even put your fucking dukes up a little bit. I understand if you want to move slow and be.
He does. You can't.
No. He does. But what I'm saying is that the fact that he fucking runs and jumps out of the ring with the hands in it just looks fucking stupid and silly to me. It's like we're not. If y'all are supposed to be this serious product and about serious business and listen, and hold on, give me a second. AEW, the AEW title is the most protected title in the business. You got Goose like this guy who was at one point in time in the fucking main event picture for as short as it was, doing Lord knows what the fuck. It's ugh. But now let's get on to Matt Hardy.
No. We're not getting past that. For someone, you say all that stuff, right? Do we not forget the people's elbow? Do we not forget the 5-knuckle shuffle? Do we not forget the atomic leg drop? Or then when Hulk Hogan charges up and he fucking points. Not everyone. Road Dogg, when he did the punches and the little shake, and then he you know what I mean, the 3-knuckle shot, whatever, the 4-knuckle, whatever the fuck you call it. There were these things in professional wrestling, and we ate it the fuck up. What is the difference? Is it because this guy's, so those were moves for those guys, right? But they were serious in the ring about their business, about this violence, about this physicality. But what I'm saying, for me, him, the character, the whole thing to me. It's just, ugh. It's like, oh, so okay, you're just some regular dude because you look like you're a regular dude, who's too cool for school. You don't even look like you belong sometimes. And yet, I'm supposed to take you serious in your world title and championship matches. I'm supposed to take you. I'm not an Orange Cassidy fan. Yeah. I'm not saying I couldn't become one, but what I see is just like, eh. And then to Matt Hardy, here's the thing. When he first came back, they tried to originally go to the dark Brother Nero version of Matt Hardy. When he first came back, when we first came into AEW, not Brother Nero, Matt Hardy, Broken
Matt Hardy, because Brother Nero is Jeff. Broken Matt Hardy, right? And then you did the goddamn stadium match, and he's appearing out of nowhere. To be honest with you, here's it
didn't work.
They botched it. They're botching him now. I don't like him with the private party. I understand why Vince said no to certain guys for certain things. Don't get me wrong. When he first came back, he would have been hot as that, if they would eventually, if WWE would have handled Broken Matt Hardy right, that could have been some good money there. But
Matt Hardy was good when he was Matt version 2.0. That was his best Matt Hardy, in my opinion, when he came back.
I did like the TNA version of Matt. I did like that, but I'm just stating right now. Yeah, Matt Hardy is proving to me like I understand why Vince McMahon would say no and just wouldn't do things for certain regards with certain guys. This isn't it. But what I do like is that he put Orange Cassidy over because at least they're going with the younger talent in this regard. It was good. It was whatever to me.
Yeah,
it was just whatever.
It was time. No, like. Orange Cassidy made the match because even if you may not like his persona, whoever he is, the dude can wrestle.
That's what makes me. Can't we just tweak the like? Couldn't you just?
But see, your whole thing with it, I thought you were talking about his skills as well because you didn't say anything about his. When I said Matt's skills, you kind of just brushed over it. He has Matt's skills. It's almost like we have a good idea of this character, right? It's almost like we have the too cool for school dude, but make it a little more realistic and not as cheesy, and it'll work out.
There
Almost
we go.
remember like Raven from WCW. He used to sit in the corner and do that shit, right? You know what I mean?
Right.
He was
Make
too
him
cool.
a little. Mm-hmm.
Huh?
No, I'm agreeing with you.
But it's like Raven's Edge, all that shit. You could do that with him, still be cool, but dial it back by like 2 or 3.
Yeah, so he can, like, when he's in there, he can fucking be doing it, because he's got to look at it. It's just like the character's got to become a little more serious. It's too fucking goofy for a fucking what's supposed to be a professional wrestling organization.
It feels like a upscale indie show when you see shit like that.
Yes. Yeah. And speaking of upscale indie shows, what you see in upscale indie shows are always these legends or people who are past their prime, you know, still trying to get after it, to chase, you know, what is it? Let it be a fucking fame, let it be the pop, let it be money, whatever the case may be, right? And this next segment fits perfectly what we're about to say with fucking Chris Jericho. I am so Jericho should not be going over in this fucking feud with MJF. And
they handcuffed him. Now he is. Will you tell him the stipulation?
If MJF wins this final matchup because Jericho is so beside himself, then fucking what ends up happening is that Jericho literally just going to become an announcer.
Yep.
If that does happen, thank fucking God, but we know it's not going to happen. Like, Jericho, listen, I know you're probably not listening, and probably you won't be listening probably for a while until it gets big enough, but let me tell you this right now. You don't got it no more in the ring, bro. And the reason why no one's giving you the same passes they shouldn't give you the same pass they gave The Undertaker is because you were never Phenom-esque. You were never as big or over as that man. So there's no reason that we should have to sit here and fucking lower our expectations for you. Listen here, bro. You had some crazy ass, these 5 matches. You did it in the most ridiculous backward ass order. I'm so still confused of it. Why would you have the death match before you have the over the rope? I mean, the top flyer match. Like, it's the psychology of it is backwards. The way that you've done this whole feud with MJF is backwards. You first start beefing with your factions. Now you're going to go one-on-one. Now you end up in this 5. This whole feud, to be honest with you, looks like a way to kind of still get you over, when the feud should be to get the young guy over, which is MJF, because he is the future and he is the actual money. Don't get me wrong. They brought you here to get eyes on the product, get everyone involved. They gave you your championship title shot. Now you need to sit in the background and put guys over, and you need to fucking get in shape, because the shit that you put out continuously is grotesque, ridiculous, and I hate it. And when you get in the ring, it's the most offensive shit in the world. Yeah, Bobby Lashley may be 44 years old, but he looks damn good. Goldberg may be however the fuck old he is, but he looks damn good. You, Chris Jericho, do not look good. God damn it, when
look at Sting at 60 years old, looks good.
Looks way better. Jericho, like, I'm just sick of looking at you. Your time has passed. Put the young guys over. We're sick of. I'm just done with them. I'm done with them.
And I agree, because the Jericho I miss, even when he was not as grotesquely out of shape as he is now. Even Jericho out of shape with the John Moxley program was 1,000 times better than this Jericho right now. He was able to move, and he used ring psychology.
Mm-hmm.
Dude, when John Moxley beat Jericho, was it Double or Nothing? I think it was. He beat him clean. Remember, he took off the eye patch. He was lying and shit like that. That was the best Jericho we got. He set up when they got rid of the inner circle too soon. I am annoyed, but they got rid of the inner circle they should have left with the inner circle up until right when Jericho was about to get out of AEW. I don't see him retiring from wrestling for another 2 or 3 years. He's 50 years old. However, but because somewhere along the lines, it changed with Jericho. When Jericho first came to AEW, he was that dude, and it worked seamless. Somewhere
he got comfortable. He got comfortable.
Yes, he became one of the boys. Him, just what I think. Him, Omega, the Young Bucks, Cody. For some reason, things got mixed up, and you can't mix business with friends. And the feud with MJF could have been so much more. MJF is the perfect heel. He is basically like Miz, but he's the Miz on like diesel fuel. You know what I mean? He's souped up because like you remember there was a thing with MJF where he was signing autographs. This little kid came up to him. He stays in character. He took the kid's paper, crumbled it, and he said, "Get the hell out of here." What man does that? The Miz does that still. Not to that extent, but MJF
Well, I think
agrees the
honestly,
business. But MJF, because he loves the business, he's like, you know what? I got to pay my dues.
I got to say something.
Yeah.
I got to say something. We got to put some respect on the Miz's name.
Oh, I do.
And no, but what I mean is that like no, because everyone always says is like the Miz wishes he could be MJF. No,
who said that? I never heard that shit.
No, the internet directs.
Because I didn't say that. I was like, no, it's
no. But I want to make this. I want to make sure that it's known that these fucking internet direct people who live in their fucking basement and best friends fucking goddamn lotion. The Miz is a different kind of cat. And do I believe that MJF could become a bigger star than him? Of course. But you know what? It's not going to happen at AEW. The reason being is because they're not treating him the way that he needs to be treated. And that is in the sense of the MJF is fucking special. And the way that you had him go through this whole goddamn feud with Jericho to just put Jericho. Oh, I don't care what anyone says. Yeah. Oh, so when you think of the Undertaker and the Mankind's Hell in a Cell match, you remember Mankind taking all that abuse, right? You don't necessarily remember the shit that Undertaker did to him besides pushing him off the cage and chokeslamming him through. But it doesn't. That made Mankind more than it made the Undertaker. So when you see Jericho take this huge bump off the cage, like, oh yeah, well, he took the huge bump for fucking MJF off the cage and putting him over. Like it makes him go over more. The fact that you even have this stupid 5 matches for no fucking like this whole feud it should be putting MJF over, but you're still trying to put over Jericho, which you don't need to. Dude, he's got his equity. What are we doing? Wasting time and money.
Remember the movie Semi-Pro?
Yeah.
That's what it reminds me of. Jackie Moon doing all this shit to try to get money. I'm going to wrestle a bear this time. Oh, right. We're going to do all this. Oh, if you make this shot, it has cheapened this feud so much because they're bringing a bunch of nonsense that didn't need to be brought in. Why are you bringing in? What's his name? Nick Gage?
Mm-hmm.
Dude, that dude definitely got something wrong with him. Like literally,
you're talking about the fucking Mud Show, the Outlaw Mud Show goof, as coined from Jim Cornette.
The best person they brought out as a mercenary ever.
Wait, wasn't Gage the one with the guy Nick Gage with the goddamn pizza slicer?
Yes,
and they did with the goddamn pizza spot afterwards.
I think it's something Gage.
Nick Gage. Nah, it was Nick Gage with the goddamn pizza slicer.
Yep, it was. So you have that. The best surprise that AEW has ever brought, but it wasn't. CM Punk was a surprise. We all knew it. It was better the anticipation because we knew it. We were just waiting for it. It's like an Amazon package that you're actually excited for. Right. The best person that AEW has brought as a surprise as a mercenary was the Inner Circle when they brought in what's his name? He's in New Japan Pro Wrestling. Real stocky fucking dude. He's like he's from Guam. I gotta look it up now.
Are you talking about
real stocky? Not Warlow. He's real. Dude, this is gonna bother me.
I'm looking at it now. The Inner Circle was composed of Jack Hager, Santana, or
Jeff Cobb.
Remember, Jeff Cobb.
He didn't sign with AEW, but that dude coming in as a mercenary, hairdo, doing the tour of the islands and fucking and beating people up.
Sure.
If MJF had that type of person, like, oh, but who did you bring? I love Juventud Guerrero, but bro, Juventud is not the same as a Jeff Cobb. Nick Gage is not even a Juventud. If you brought someone like, say, if you wanted to do someone hardcore, like, there's probably a bunch of. Even Terry Funk got, his health and everything like that. At 60-something years old, would have put a better show than Nick Gage. God rest his soul. New Jack. If you brought New Jack into AEW, it would have been more intriguing again,'against Chris Jericho. You know what I mean?
Those matches, that whole thing shouldn't have happened like that. It just shouldn't have. We're not trying to make fucking Chris Jericho. You're trying to make MJF, and goddamn it, Tony Khan. You should fucking remember that shit. Now let's get on to some fucking let's get on to another match. The Varsity Blondes.
No, first of all, they're like 30 years old, dressing as fucking high school kids, and I don't like it.
It's really weird. And versus the Lucha Brothers, which I happen to like. Yeah. I like the Lucha Brothers.
Yes.
They
Lucha feel Brothers. Real. They feel like gutter, like, you know what I mean? Like, oh, they'll fuck you up.
Yeah, son. Like they don't seem cartoonish like you may see with other lucha stars in like WWE or something. Like you said, these guys give off the like. First of all, fucking goddamn Ray the Phoenix, the one that has the black and white and shit. That motherfucker. I feel like he fucking practices Santa Maria. Like he fucking will fucking come in there with a goddamn dead rooster with a goddamn Santa Maria priest ready to fuck somebody's life up for centuries. So I like this. The match was pretty cool.
They're Lucha Libre from Hot Topic. That's how I look at it. And that's not a disrespect, but they got like that emo shit too. Like they really bout it. Usually Lucha, like I love Rey Mysterio is a legend, but it works for these guys because like Lucha needs to be dark now. It needs to be like it has to be that Vato type shit. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm. No, I agree with you. So you know, nothing really, you know, kind of say about that. You know, this is for the, you know, that tag team tournament matchup.
But the Young Bucks come out for this as well. And like the thing is like what Penta and Ray Phoenix can do. I
was trying to skim right over that.
No, Bobby. We gotta talk about it.
Why do we gotta talk about these children?
With Ray Phoenix and Penta, they're so talented. Like the Varsity Blondes, I like them. I hate their gimmick. I think it's off-putting and it's uncomfortable. You're grown men dressed as high schoolers. It doesn't work. You know what I mean?
I agree with you.
It makes me uncomfortable. You know what I mean? So you like their manager. I forget what her name is, right? But you want me to look at her. You're dressing her like that. You want me to look at her as a sexual figure, but you're dressing her up as a schoolgirl. Like this is not "Hit Me, Baby, One More Time," Britney Spears. So it's rather uncomfortable. But they're good. This isn't like the Varsity Club in WCW where you had the Steiner brothers, where you also had I think Dr. Dusty Williams was in that. But they were but also because those guys had legitimate backgrounds in wrestling in high school and college, and then they also you just know that they're grown men. Like these guys look like grown men. These guys, it's like you said, it's like you guys. It's just not right. It's just you're too old to be high schoolers, but you're too young to be the Steiners. It's like they're in that weird in between. But that like what Ray Phoenix and Penta can do, like they are really fucking talented. And like I said, the Varsity Blondes, they can wrestle too. It's just unfortunate. It's the Young Bucks. They've kind of turned into what NWO was back in the day, always interrupting. And they're like, it's like, oh, here we go, another NWO show.
Here's the thing with the Young Bucks.
I like
they are everybody that they supposedly hate. I'm just surprised that the internet hasn't picked up on this. The fucking Young Bucks don't put anyone over. Even when they put them over, they don't put them over. First of all, we did not get the match that we deserved between them and FTR. Have yet to get that.
Why did that? I don't know what the politics were behind that.
Because it's the fucking young girls. That's why. Or goddamn as you want, or maybe as fucking James E calls them. I think he calls them the Hardly Boys.
Hardly Boys.
You know, fucking you got Road Warrior Buck and Balding Buck. Whatever you want to call these fucking children that come on the television and not truthfully. There is no reason Private Party is not one of the teams of AEW. When they had the original breakout tournament, when the goddamn shit happened originally and people loved them naturally, there is no reason whatsoever that didn't continue. Even when those guys put them over, you still fucking buried them. These guys fucking suck, and I hate them. And then did I mention that they fucking super kicked a child? These guys... These are the same people who decided to come out to the Looney Tunes playing basketball and do some stupid ass basketball spot. They're fucking goons. They're fucking fools. And we'll get to Kenny Olivier later. But fuck these guys.
Kenny Omega, before we go.
Kenny Olivier? I'm sorry.
the best thing that he did is it seems like he's separating himself from them on TV because he can be a good heel on his own. The problem,
by dressing as Princess Jasmine in matches, by doing that,
you're bringing up shit like from like 10 years ago. I don't
he
even know
did it. Is a part of his brand. We have to.
Bro, WWE, WWF had Naked Midian, son. Like, let's be real. We
Naked Midian?
Yeah.
Was he ever a world champion? Where was he? At the bottom of the card where he deserved to be.
Yeah. Okay, we had Corporate Kane. The fuck is that?
In his later years, when honestly they were just wanting Kane to put people over, and they just kind of needed him to be there. It wasn't in his prime.
Yeah. All right. I give it. Okay. I give you one then. Mankind. When he won the championship, fucking a sock on his fucking hand. Let's be real. Oh, Mr. Sacco changed it all of a sudden, puts the mandible claw. Like, WWE has had shitty stuff like that as well. Excuse me, it wasn't shit. I loved it. I ate it up. But they did those things and they made it believable and tasteful. When you watch the match back,
because Mankind is a fucking psycho. This is a man that he's got fucking schizophrenia. He had like fucking 4 different. We would accept. Remember, we accepted that he changed outfits and became a different dude.
He went from Dude Love, right? Remember the move, his legs and shit.
He was in the Royal Rumble like 4 times. Like what in the same.
No way. It's Mick Foley, Mankind, Cactus Jack, Dude Love, right?
Yes. Like 4 dudes was in the Rumble, and we bought it. And we were just like, well, who's going to win this one? But then
also, to be fair, Kenny Omega looked like he a little schizophrenic. So a little bit.
Here's my thing with Kenny Olivier is
I like him. I do.
But he's not a top guy.
He is a top guy. Here's the thing, though.
You don't look at Kenny Olivier and say he's a top guy.
He is a top guy. Here's why.
You believe this?
Here's why. I truly believe Kenny Omega, unlike the Young Bucks, he is a lot more selfless than the Young Bucks. He's okay with putting people over for the right reason. He did this belt collector thing. It's almost like MJF where like, yo, they will take all the fucking heat. They don't matter. It doesn't matter. He'll take all the heat as long as the story's right. Somewhere along the lines, it got really convoluted with the stories with the Young Bucks and all this extra bullshit. But at the heart of it, I think it would have been a great story. It's long-term booking with him and Hangman Adam Page. It would have fucking worked perfectly. But the Young Bucks had to put their extraness into it, and it just shit the bed. The Don Callis thing would have been fucking perfect if he would have said a few words less and Kenny said a few more words, and it would have been fucking perfect.
He's not a top guy.
My God, fuck.
He is not a he's just not a top guy. I don't look at this guy and think world champion or think flag bearer of my show. And it has nothing to do with his size. It has everything to do
You literally win like this to me. You win like this. I could tell my heart story and everything else, and you win like this. You just win like this. Gay.
That's exactly what I did, because that's exactly how I feel about Kenny Olivier. Yes. And listen here, people, you can't say any kind of hate crop shit because I'm part of that goddamn rainbow gang. So fuck off, find something else to try to cancel me by. Suck my dick, bitches. Back on subject of why Kenny Olivier sucks dick. Now listen, this guy, he is the perfect like intercontinental champion or their TNT television champion or someone that you could put in the main event picture, but he's not someone who stays. He doesn't scream that to me. I don't look at him and think main event. You know who I look at and would say main event? Neville.
Yeah.
Pac. You see what I'm saying? Pac. Whatever. I'm sorry. Pac. I know him as Neville. WWE named him Neville. I'm going with Neville. So I know.
That's
people.
Another indie dude they fucked over because that dude he can talk, bro. He
They
look like a fucking child. They need to bring Chavo in. We'll get to that in a second. But continue.
Neville's a guy that I can see being a top guy for them. MJF, he is a top guy. He should be the top guy for them. I'm gonna say it. It's the truth. Kenny Olivier is the poor man's TNA's Christian Cage. I said it. I said it. I said it. It's the truth.
Square up, son.
It's the truth. It's the truth.
You know what that means?
It is.
Square up.
It is what it is. It is what it is, baby. We all can't. It is what he's just.
I fucked my blanket up. Look, baby.
He's just not that guy. He's not that guy. The same way Christian Cage is just not that guy. You could put him in the picture for a little bit.
So you're calling it. So this is basically. Oh, so this is like Seth Rollins versus Edge. You're calling.
No,
but you're basically calling. You're calling Kenny Omega Christian Light. You know how Seth Rollins is.
Yeah. We could say that, but then I don't even want to sully Edge's name because the only time you should mention Edge and Christian is when you mention them as a tag team. But if you want to compare their single star runs, or the Brood. Edge is over there. Christian is over there, and it comes to main event. Like Christian can stay for a couple. You know what? I can even take Christian staying for dinner. You can have Christian over for dinner in the main event picture. Don't have to be a cup of coffee. You can have him for dinner. But after dinner, he's got to leave. And then you know what? You invite him over again in like 6 more months.
He's like, that dude is like this. Like, he's like, yo, how's so-and-so doing? Bring him around. And then when you have him around and like he's cool after a few hours, then you're like, okay, I can see why you're not around that much.
Exactly. Yeah. And it's no disrespect to the guy, but he's not that guy. So, and when I look at Kenny Olivia, I'm like, you're like Christian Cage light.
I think Kenny Omega is a better performer than Christian Cage.
He's boring. He's like, unless you're like his matches.
You're holding it against him a lot of that the weird shit he did.
Well, no. I'm even getting past that. Well,
really?
It's hard to.
No.
It's hard. It's actually. I'm lying. I can't get past it.
That match with Pac
was wonderful. I like it.
Okay, thank you.
But here's the thing.
What are you talking about then?
Well, but then also too, because you said it was with Pac. I don't like if Kenny Olivier is in there with a grown man who wrestles, then he could do that. But the issue is that when you leave him to his own devices, he becomes a child. And another issue is that I'm sorry, he's a fucking VP, so he is left to his own devices. So I get to see childish shit.
For the longest time, he wasn't even in the fucking title picture. He put everyone else over.
I wish I had a beer.
Even with he had the best storyline he had was with Adam Page and when Hangman wanted to leave the Elite and you saw he was about to fucking buckshot Larry. He looked at him and then Kenny turned around. He's like, and he's acting cool with him. That was like the best segment ever, and it's taken this long for it to come fucking full circle that Hangman was being looked at as a piece of shit. Now he is the baby face, and Kenny Omega is now the heel. It's long-term booking, but someone got fucked up. But neither here nor there.
Kenny Olivier.
We're getting back to Kenny Omega in a bit. We got to talk about the biggest elephant in the room, the biggest literally the headache, and I felt so bad for her, was Jamie Hayter versus Red Velvet. Did you see Red Velvet land on her head? It was almost like Brock Lesnar when he's shooting star pressed off the top rope.
Red Velvet. If I'm not mistaken, this bitch can't wrestle. Like, how many times has she been on AEW botches?
This one was bad. She said she wasn't even. It was just from the floor. She flipped, landed right on the back of her head, and it looked like she gave herself concussion. Hayter had to get up and just continue with the match. Almost had to slap Red Velvet to get out of whatever funk she was in. It was bad. Hayter basically, she won. You know, Hayter was big. Red Velvet just looks, it almost reminds me of Zelina Vega, where like Red Velvet is just way too small. If you look at it, like when Red Velvet was facing what's her name? Britt Baker. Or like when they're eye to eye, like it's not believable to me. It's literally like Rey Mysterio when he versus the Big Show. If the Big Show sold like a punch from Rey Mysterio, it doesn't work.
Listen. She sucks and she can't wrestle. Britt Baker is money, but they need to make her a goddamn babyface. I don't know why they got her as a heel.
I like her as a heel.
Everyone
as a heel.
For fucking what? The money isn't her as a goddamn babyface. Because guess what? They're trying.
Bro.
They're trying to grow their product.
That's why they need her as a heel. Because she can make her being a heel and still winning matches builds other stars.
Her being a heel but still getting cheered fucks up the psychology of their match. And this is supposed to be a goddamn wrestling company.
Guess what it's still look at Bobby Lashley and Goldberg. Look what the fuck happened. Look at when Brock
That was one time because people are tired of seeing Goldberg. We're like, Goldberg's got to go. They thought that.
Not true. How many times were they fucking tired of John Cena and that they would root against him no matter who he was against? They would cheer for the heel.
Yeah, that was when he was on every week as a decade being the flag bearer because there could be no one other stars because the rest of them niggas suck.
Well, Red Velvet, I think she has potential.
I think she sucks. But all right. So shout out, you like Red Velvet. Obviously, clearly people can tell you are going to be the babyface in this dynamic, and I'm going to be the heel.
Oh, listen, I'm honest. When shit is dog shit, I'll tell you. I'll be honest with you. Like when I saw potential in certain storylines and everything like that, it like I even said with the Omega thing with the Bucks, I said it got fucked over because it got convoluted with all 37 of these fucking factions.
Right.
And that's the problem. But let's talk. Let's go down the card. Let's go to something positive. CM Punk makes his Dynamite debut.
That he does.
I thought it was great.
Yeah.
Put your tinfoil hat on. You ready?
Okay.
Aluminum can. This is what's going to happen. CM Punk has all this love and all this, appreciation. He could talk. He has a unique look, even to this day. That motherfucker could wrestle. That motherfucker can wrestle.
Yes.
They're doing this thing. He's so good. He's all this stuff. I feel like he's so over. At one of their pay-per-views, he's turning heel. Because he is at that age in his career, no matter what he does, he will always be popular. It's almost like the Floyd Mayweather effect. You watch him because you pay to watch him lose or you pay to watch him win. It doesn't matter, but you're still going to pay. CM Punk, he's going to beat Darby Allin, I think at it was an All Out. I think he's going to beat Darby Allin. He's going to go on the stage and have these little wars, but he's going to become heel at one point. And that's when
not for a while.
That one shift in AEW that's going to make it a lot better.
I hope that he's not a heel for like at least a year or two.
But he's like overdoing it. The thank yous and stuff like that. I'm that guy. He's like over baby facing, and I think it's for a purpose because he doesn't do anything for no reason.
I don't know if it's for a purpose or if it's because the fans are legitimately happy to have him back, and he can't even fucking talk sometimes because they're still fucking yelling. Yeah, so he's got to be like over gracious. You know what I mean? I think a little bit of it is that he's over gracious. Will he become a heel eventually? But I hope it's not for a while. But he did everything in this moment that he was supposed to do. It'll be interesting. It's gonna be great to see what they do with Bryan Danielson when he comes back. Debuts for them.
Is he definitely debut? Do they? Because
I think he's supposed to, but we'll see.
You saw like there was something I saw on Instagram where like on CM Punk's shoes he had BW for the initials for Bray Wyatt. Like because Punk since Ring of Honor has always been throwing like subtle hints and Easter eggs to his fans. And then this week he had DB on his shoes for Daniel Bryan. So it's like. And when they asked him, they're like when they were like this, yes. He's like, that's someone else's shtick. You may have to wait a little bit for that one. So he was throwing them hints out there. So
which is cool. So he did what he was supposed to. I enjoyed it.
Yeah. Will you watch AEW with more of an open mind now, knowing that Punk's there? Are you still like, fuck them?
I'm watching it more so like I know Punk isn't gonna allow them to do no fucking fucked up fuckery, fuckboy shit to his shit, but all in all together, it's still a child show, and they still haven't presented and formatted this bitch right.
Yeah, this is like 90s. This is like 1997, 98 WCW right now.
And I just don't think it's good. Like it's. Everyone just says how WWE is so fake and contrite, but then when I watch these matches, you can just see how green these motherfuckers are in certain regards.
Yeah.
The psychology of their matches all over the place. They do shit that doesn't make sense. And while you can say that WWE may do it in certain regards, at least they do it on a professional level where these guys are legitimate in some cases.
Yeah.
Fucking mud show, outlaw, goof bags.
You could see when they're green, like you said, like with Red Velvet. She's very, very green in that
Get off
ring.
my TV. Like the effect that there are so many women in NWA that actually can fucking go. You're telling me that Tony Khan, you've been poaching talent for WWE this whole time. You can try to figure out how to have some conversation with some of them girls, then come over there and actually go. But you got these guys. Stop insulting my intelligence. But we can get on to the next match, the trios match.
This was I like this match because I don't know why people hate on Jon Moxley, but it was Jon Moxley, Darby Allin, Eddie Kingston, JD Drake, Cesar, and Ryan Namath. Cesar, first of all, let's go. That man's gonna be a fucking problem. He has the look. He's from Brazil. Like, he is someone I think that if he left AEW, he could transition to WWE instantly because he has that look. Right?
I agree.
The match, in my eyes, was okay. It was nothing crazy. It was just basically a showing for Jon Moxley, Eddie Kingston, and Darby Allin to show how superior they are for their matches for All Out. It works well. Darby is really fucking good. He could tell. He has like that Jesse Pinkman vibe to him from fucking Breaking Bad. Like, he's emo, is like science, bitch. Like, he has that vibe, emo type shit, right? And then Sting works perfectly for me. Like, the Sting that doesn't talk, but you see his man, is the best Sting. They had Sting on, remember, keep in mind, WCW, Sting was the man, the surfer fucking dude, right? He cut the best promo. He's one of the best talkers in all of professional wrestling. Sting is so good, after a year and a half, 2 years, grew his hair out, just had what he did, the crow thing, right? Did not talk, would hang in the fucking rafters, right? And people went fucking, he had that aura. That's why they call him the fucking icon. And the way he moves, it all works together. And at 60-something fucking years old, able to play his position right, not being the star of it, but still has enough rub that Darby could be his own person, it fucking works beautifully. Eddie Kingston, amazing wrestler. You don't like Eddie Kingston? Oh my God. Anyways, he needs to get in shape. I don't like this fucking, I don't know what diabetic stomach thing he has. That's what it looks like to me. I don't know what's going on. The motherfucker needs to get in shape. Moxley, I think Moxley's Moxley. I like he could move in the ring. He could sell a story. He could cut a promo. But
Jon Moxley, Dean Ambrose, both of them have always been like this.
The other guys, the problem is the other guys in this match, they are talented, but it was just made as a squash match, and that's the problem with AEW. There are too many squash matches. You'll have these guys like Cesar who could be something, and then whatever the fucking other dude, Ryan Namath and JD, right? They look like killers on AEW Dark on YouTube, but once they go to this, they're used as squash match, and it's not benefiting everyone. It's like 205 Live, they're champions on WWE, right? And then once it's Raw or SmackDown, it's like, nah.
More like NXT. But when I look at this match, right, I only look at one guy in there as a star. It's Darby Allin. Everything else is second fiddle to Darby Allin, as it should be in this match. To me, to be honest, like Moxley, Eddie Kingston, I'm good.
Where does that come from? Like Eddie Kingston,
huh?
Why not? Why not Eddie Kingston?
What is there to like about him?
That man could fucking talk on the mic. He has ring psychology. Like, he makes it believable in my eyes.
He bores me. I don't have anything else. I just, the same way as I don't have anything really to say about Moxley.
Cheeto finger motherfuckers in their basement right now saying they don't like it. Nah.
No, I just don't know. It doesn't. That is the truth. I just don't like it. There's nothing, because it just doesn't hit the Mox. Like I said, Moxley or Dean Ambrose. It doesn't. There's only, like I said, there's only one star in that equation to me, and that's Darby Allin.
I get why they have. For you was the death match when it was just sparklers that went off. Is that what you think did it for you?
If you're a part of Mud Show goof shit, then in my mind you're a Mud Show goof guy, and I can't go for you.
I respect it. I do, but people.
Why do you think I look at fucking Chris Jericho the way I do now? He looks like this fucking Mud Show, fucking goof, old time wrestler dude who won't put anyone over in the goddamn gymnasium.
There's a difference between Chris Jericho. Chris Jericho was doing it now in his 50s, which he should have had that shit out of his system already.
He's made too much money. It's like, why?
Eddie Kingston and shit like that, he hasn't been doing matches like that. He hasn't been doing. Unfortunately, he was brought in and he covered, and it was the worst save ever. How they went about it, like, oh, the reason I laid that, the PTSD and shit like I'm like, it was
like, leave it out of that.
That was probably the worst bot. Like, no, that was top botch. The other one was, remember the dude that was supposed to be like this big man? He had the stormtrooper hat and he came through the wall and fell in WWE. I forget that fucker's name. That shit was hilarious. But me and my wife watched it. We're like, did this really just happen? There has to be a joke. Like, another big thing needs to happen. Anyways, Darby Allin is a fucking star, and he's a star even being 175 fucking pounds. It is believable, his underdog. So, like, he could literally, if he had to go in a match right now with Kenny Omega or whoever's holding a title, it's believable that he can win because he's like gritty.
He's fucking crazy. He's crazy.
That's why, bro. That dude moves. You know what I mean?
He's crazy. Like, it's like, yeah, he's absolutely believable. Like I said, he's the only star in that match. Fuck everyone else.
Okay, bro. I asked because my favorite wrestler when I was a kid, I was big. What's your thought on Sting with him?
Sting. Like I said, I'm cool with Sting. I'm cool with Sting. And I don't know where it's at. Yeah, I don't think, I'm sorry. People just was huh? Just walk by. So
I thought you were setting something up to be a smart ass. I'm like, oh, this motherfucker's good.
No.
I was waiting for it.
I'm sorry. What was the question again?
What's your thoughts on Sting?
Oh, I get why they're doing it. I'm all right with it. Can't wait for him to dump the old guy once he doesn't need him anymore. So
he can still move though for his age. You gotta give that man credit.
Yeah, I just don't need to. He's just too old. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, but it works though, because it's not like Goldberg where you're like, yes, he looks in great shape for being 50, whatever, and having a show. Sting plays his position. He keeps he almost is ageless in the sense, like, yes, you can see the hairline going, you see it's looking poofy and old, but he has the face paint. He has there's still some sort of aura to him, even at 63 years old.
But that's the thing. I don't.
It's not like the Undertaker where it's like, damn, bro, that beer gut is big. This is not working anymore.
First of all, when Undertaker finally got his hip right, Undertaker was on a different level. But what I'm stating is that if you want to be something other than WWE, if you want to be a real product in regards to actual real wrestling based shit, you're supposed to be having this shit take for real. A 62-year-old man has no business in the ring with those boys. He would get fucking killed. Like, the average 62-year-old man has no business. No business. Don't get me wrong, you got some of them who look imposing. He looks good, but he don't look imposing enough to be in the middle of it, whatever the fuck he's doing. Like, you're just too old. Like, I'm good on you.
I don't know, bro. Sting compared to a lot of the roster, that dude's fucking big, bro. You see him standing with him.
But you're 60. I guess for me, you're 62, and if I'm supposed to take it that these guys are fucking athletes and these guys are supposed to be problems in their prime, why would I think, hey, listen, I know some good-looking 62-year-old men, but they couldn't do nothing with me. You know what I mean? Yeah. And no, but don't get me, of course there are some guys, like Sting isn't a guy that is a fucking black belt in jiu-jitsu or even a blue belt. Like, he's not someone who actively trained, so you got the danger element to him. It's like, yes, this is wrestling, so his past wrestling he was good, but if you see him in the ring, he don't move nowhere near like he used to. Like, I'm just good.
I agree.
I'm just good on it.
All right, moving on. Christian Cage, Kenny Omega. The build up to it. I'm not a fan of it because they're like. Actually, no, I was a fan of this because I'm not a fan of the match that's going to happen, but I was a fan of what happened with Don Callis and everything like that. Don Callis called it how it was. He basically said, Christian, we're just showing everyone what everyone already knew. You are second best at best. Basically alluding to like Edge and shows like AEW, for some reason, this episode became more self-aware. You know what I'm saying? And it fucking worked perfectly. It's like they're playing on the shtick of like Christian Cage being like, you were never that guy. You were never that guy. And it works for him. It doesn't, because it shows that he's never going to be that guy for the simple fact that they just fucking tossed him the Impact belt.
I have a question for you, Gio.
That. Yeah.
I have a question. Why should I give a fuck about this match when you already gave it to me for free on TV?
1000%. I agree with you. That's why I'm not a fan of the match. But I was a fan of Don Callis saying what he was saying.
Yeah, he was right about that shit, calling the shit fucking a joke. Can we just, as Jim Cornette would say, can we speed search some of this shit? Because it was just fucking dreck. Like the Gun Club, I'm fucking.
Yeah. I like what's his name from the factory, the fucking dude that looks crazy with the fucking beard. What's that motherfucker's name? What's that? What is
Which
it?
one? Billy Colton?
Yeah, the big motherfucker, right? He kind of looks like Mick Foley on steroids.
Oh, you mean the motherfucker with oh, you mean the motherfucker with
Camarado?
Oh, yeah. No, it's not yeah, I think it's Nick Camarado. I don't know. I think maybe Nick Camarado. It's not Aaron Solo. Yeah, no, I think it's Nick Camarado. I think so.
Let me just Nick Camarado. It is Nick Camarado. That's him. He kind of looks like he gives me Bruiser Brody vibes.
Bruiser Brody. Mick Foley had a child.
Yep, like that. But yeah, that match, I could live without it. I like Billy Gunn, man, because he's in the back. He helps the young talent. Billy Gunn that dude's a big motherfucker. He can move.
Now he's an older dude that I can buy. Dude, like he's an older dude. I know what I was just saying, but Billy Gunn, the way that it's like Bobby Lashley, they keep themselves in shape, and he looks like a threat in the match. Because Sting looks like, it's like you look. For instance, it's like your older uncle at the cookout. Like, oh, you still work out, uncle, but you couldn't do nothing with me. But you know what I'm saying? But in your, but you knew, yes, he would like if you're gonna have the brawl and you got the older guy there, you call your uncle, like, yo, uncle, we got this old nigga here. I'm here. You know what I'm saying? But you wouldn't call him to fight the 30-year-old savages. Yeah. But Billy Gunn, I can believe fighting 30-year-old savages because he still is a savage himself.
Speak about Billy Gunn. His sons can fucking wrestle. They are talented. I think but they're nothing special. They're living in their father's shadow. They need
exactly, and that's why you gotta kind of like everyone knows your Billy Gunn's kids. Now you gotta like make your own money, because no one really gives a shit. Like there's a reason why Rocky Maivia didn't work out and The Rock did work out.
And Billy Gunn needs to stop wrestling if he wants his sons to succeed. That motherfucker just needs to be a manager right now.
Or you can just stay in the back and just be a producer.
But that's what I'm saying. But if he wanted to stay on TV, that's what I'm saying.
Yeah, because he never was a talker anyway, so we don't need that.
What? Mr. Ass? I'm an ass man.
That's all he said, but he was never a promo guy. He was, his promos were always, you know what I mean?
All right.
They tried the one Billy Gunn. We saw what that happened, right? He was not the one.
Yeah.
So this trio shit, it led to fucking the continuation of QT Marshall going against fucking Paul White.
I don't like
no one gives it. No one gives a shit.
No one. I don't want to see. I personally don't want to see Big Show. Excuse me, Paul White wrestle. I don't really care for QT Marshall. He doesn't do it for me. I don't know what it is. I don't know if it's the plugs in his hair. I don't know what the fuck it is, but there's something like he doesn't have that charisma, or like for me to care that he's a heel. Oh, you want an apology from Tony Schiavone? Like that's the because you beat up his. Where is this coming from? It doesn't. It's like filler. Like Andrade, he can't speak when he has this shit going on with Penta and Ray. I could see now why WWE canned him.
No, they didn't can him. He expedited his release. They didn't even want him to go.
No, not can. Excuse me. My apologies. I could see why they kept him back, because they needed someone to be his mouthpiece. He can't speak. It has nothing to do with the English barrier at all. Because look at fucking Penta and Ray Phoenix. What is it? Ray Phoenix, motherfucker doesn't speak a lick of English.
Well, Jim Cornette said something funny about Andrade. He said this. He goes, do people in Spanish have a hard time understanding him when he speaks Spanish? Or is it just when he's speaking English? So like I don't know, maybe next week we can maybe have you answer that question. We can fucking have you listen. He's very
clear. Every dialect.
He's clear in Spanish.
He's clear in Spanish. But you have to understand, so like when they speak in their native tongue, it's
a different,
it makes it easier. But when he speaks Mexican, like Mexican dialogue, Spanish, like, you know,
right.
it's very different compared to like Puerto Rican, Colombian, Dominican, etc. Right. So the way he pronounces things, he's using the same enunciations as if he was still speaking Spanish and English, so it comes off really odd.
There we go.
So when you have someone like Chavo there, I think what they need to do once Ric
Chavo,
Ric Flair's the perfect mouthpiece for Andrade, because Andrade is so smooth, and he's almost like a Hispanic. He's like
do not let Ric Flair wrestle.
No,
you let him be a manager. But if Tony Khan lets Ric Flair in the ring, I'm gonna tell you this. You ain't got to worry about an AEW portion of the podcast, because I won't be watching this shit. I will fucking speed search all of it, and I'll just leave it up to you to watch it, and I'll just tell you what I think that they're doing wrong. Because I'll tell you this right now. If they let the old boy Ric Flair in the ring to actually wrestle at 70 years old, good Google.
And you know what's sad, though? I think he wants to, too. Like, bro, I couldn't take Ric Flair. Like, actually, I couldn't take Ric Flair serious when he came back to WWE at like 50. I'm like, he got like the side titty. He's like all growth hormone. It didn't work.
So when he first came back as the commissioner, he was looking good. And then by the time he did the retirement thing, all right, I was good on it. But then when he went to TNA and started wrestling, I was like, come on, son, you got.
That's what I was talking about. Bro, that Shawn Michaels, when he said, I'm sorry, fucking sweet shit music, that was crisp Ric Flair. That right there, that was on point.
Yeah, it was like, all right, you should do no more after this.
No more, and that's it.
Speaking of people who, honestly, I'm just so confused. I'm just so confused. I'm not saying no more, but Brock Anderson.
You don't need no paternity test, son. You look at that dude. You know
that's
Arn Anderson 2.0.
Arn Anderson is your daddy.
That ain't my baby. I'm the baby. Happy. Remember that shit?
I wish. Oh yeah.
I'm the baby.
I wish that, like, Arn is with Cody, but then I wish Arn was with Brock and that he wasn't necessarily under Cody. There's something you could do.
Can Brock do a sit-up? You don't gotta look just like your daddy. You don't need the
genetics. Sometimes somebody, he may not be able to escape it. You know what I mean? Like, look at him. He looks like his daddy, but he probably acts like his mama.
There's some trend ice cream.
And I'm not saying that in a disrespectful manner. I'm just stating that usually what happens.
There's this thing called a trend. If you on TV, trenbolone sandwich. Listen, I don't take steroids. But if you taking if that's not part of your character where you need to look like you're 40 at the age of 34, I don't know what to say. But Trembolone would help, Broccolone over here. That's all I'm saying.
Oh God. And with that said, we're gonna speed search right after this, because you know what? I don't give a damn about Malachi Black and his weird fucking thing that he's got going on.
Yo, take it back. Take it back.
No, you want to know why? Because they got him in this feud with Cody that I know is going to eventually cultivate with Cody going over. Like,
nope.
I don't.
No, it won't.
Yeah.
I think Malachi Black goes over. I feel like Malachi Black.
I hope so.
It's crazy. Malachi Black is the perfect person that doesn't need to speak on the mic. He doesn't need to talk. I think he does everything perfect without talk, because when he talks and then you hear him speak, it's like it works.
It's like, once again, that with me saying it had nothing to do against Malachi, but I just don't want him to be eaten by the machine. Like, he needs to go over. He has to. And they got to keep him strong. They have to. Like, and if you don't, it's like, what the fuck?
First of all, can we give Arn Anderson some credit for taking that spinning heel kick to the face?
Arn Anderson is a man, of course.
And then let's talk about the match real quick. It was just a squash. It was just a squash match. Like, Brock didn't really do much, and then it was just a showing for Tommy N, aka Aleister Black, aka Malachi Black. I'm gonna say that every time, but that's what it was. Malachi Black he's a star, And WWE even wanted to keep him. You have to remember that. They wanted to keep him. They were doing the Book of Black. He was doing all these segments. He had the perfect.
No, they cut that nigga still.
No, they cut him, right? And then they realized it was a mistake. And they gave him an offer, but then he waited for the no compete clause to.
Oh, really?
Yeah. Look it up.
Yeah, let me do that right now. Continue going.
Look that shit up, Jamie. Is that how it goes? Joe Rogan?
WWE offer.
They wanted him back, but there was a loophole because it's supposed to be like a 60 or 90-day no compete clause. But that means actually perform wrestling. He didn't have a wrestling match, so he showed up to AEW. I don't know if this is all conspiracy, but this is shit that I saw, in the interwebs. Yep.
No. I think no. Yeah, no. Malachi. So they released that nigga because they were done with him.
Yep.
Then no, his fucking wife came back. That's what it was. But they released her, but then they brought her back.
No, but they, from my understanding, it's to sweeten the deal. They brought Zelina back to try to bring to bring Malachi back.
I don't know how truthful that is or not, but ultimately, I think the WWE dropped the ball with him.
Yeah.
But
his entrance, his song was the shit, and when he fucking came out of the fucking thing, creaking and shit like that,
he's a big fella. He's not that small. He's not a small fella. He's like 6'3". I remember watching him in the Money in the Bank match last year.
He's a smaller guy in the sense of like he's not heavy. He's like 225. Let me look up how much this motherfucker.
He's like 6'3". He's like 6'2" or 6'3". Nah, he is not a small fella.
That big.
I think he is. Yeah.
Height.
Oh, hey, young Jamie, go ahead, get it going.
He's only 5'11". He's my height.
Fuck up.
He's my height.
Bro, did you? Okay, so listen here. So he must wear, and there's no disrespect because some of the wrestlers, Kane used to wear them, Jericho used to wear them. He must wear those, like inch or two boots. And the reason I'm saying that, no, hold on, hear me out. Okay. If you go back to, do you have Peacock?
No, but I could Google real quick.
You don't gotta do it now. You could do it after this. Mm-hmm. Look at the Money in the Bank match last year when they had it in the WWE headquarters. When you look at Malachi Black compared to some of the other superstars that are billed as tall, he looks big. Like he doesn't. You see what I'm saying? Like he doesn't. Yeah. He's like towering over a few of them. Or
here's
he's
the thing.
At eye level, and I'm like, I didn't know he was this big.
So here's the thing with it. For example, I'm 5'11". I'm 5'11". Mm-hmm. You see picture me. When you see me in pictures, it's like, yo, that's a big motherfucker. He's very wide. He has wide shoulders. You see how big that motherfucker is? You see how big my head is? I'm not trying to
you don't have a big head.
Bro, we meet in person, you're gonna see my head. It's like, okay. I have I got a big head. It looks like I'm on trend. You know what I'm saying? But I'm not.
I have a big head. I guess I'm trying to state that is because my football helmet was like, right before you get to the real big fat guys on the team. Yeah, I was right under them. Like my head is huge. That's what I'm trying to state. But like I'm just like I'm
saying about the way that Malachi Black is built and how he presents himself. He takes control of that room. It's not like AJ Styles where he's just a high fly. AJ Styles has charisma, but he doesn't demand the room how Malachi Black does. He stands up tall, has that big head, wide shoulders. You know what I mean? It's a presence. It's like I said, look at pictures of me. I'm not comparing. Like I'm only 5'11" on a good fucking day, but you see me in pictures, like, oh, that motherfucker looks like he's 6'2". No, but then
shoes as well. You know what I mean? Like for instance,
bro, I'm in what's it called in Crocs all day.
You know, Crocs give you a lift.
Bro, I'm husky. Them shits is like when fat dudes wear Air Maxes and it goes.
Oh, stop it! The reason I can say that is because I weigh more than you. I'm like 230.
Son, I'm trying to get 230. We'll be the tag team champions of podcasts.
We could. So, son, we could be. And the reason I'm saying that is because, like, if I put Crocs on, I become 5'11". Because then I'm looking. The reason I say that is because Justin is 5'11", almost 6 foot, and I look him eye to eye if I have on, like, if I put on those fucking Crocs. So I know they give you a little bit of a lift, but what I'm trying to state is that Malachi Black is fucking. I just hope that they don't fucking fuck this guy over. All right. Let's get in the fucking Rampage. And let me tell you something right now, people. Let me tell you something. Jungle Boy. They need to. He needs to. Yo. Stop sabotaging yourself, Jungle Boy. If you don't like to talk, you better get yourself a manager who does talk because you got it. You are one of those motherfuckers. Let me tell you something. And goddamn it, Luchasaurus. Let me tell you something. I'm a fan of his. I am a fan of these guys together, Jurassic Express. I'm a very big fan of theirs. They had a fucking knockdown, drag out fucking fight with the Lucha Brothers, and this is the. I enjoyed it. I thoroughly enjoyed it. I know. However, it may fucking.
I have to. But this is the problem I had with it, and you know me, I'm an AEW fan. A lot of the times, what happens with AEW, I think it worked for Rampage just for this reason. Rampage is only an hour.
Yep.
Rampage is only an hour. That's why it works. It would not work on AEW. The problem is with the problem with what's Wednesday night's shit called again? AEW Dynamite. The problem with Dynamite is that in a 2-hour show, you start off with a bang like that, everything else looks like shit.
Yes.
And that is the biggest problem with AEW is that they blow their load way too fast. Like, oh, baby, we go in rounds, and then
you gotta edge it, babe. Take your time.
Yeah, bro.
Get there, back off a little bit. It's a party.
Just a little, you know what I mean? Just a little. Hey.
We don't gotta go fucking. We don't gotta. You said Ice Cube.
Howard Stern, remember the movie Private Parts? Hey, just a little. Sit on the stereo, baby.
I fucking love it.
Oh, that's all it is.
That's all they're asking for.
Hey, just a little, you know. Just a little. This is great. But anyways, the match was great. This would have been a great mid-card or main event. Starting off too strong like this only works because it's Rampage.
Yeah, and it's an hour. It's good.
Because what was after that? I like I'm not a fan of
it. It was the Bunny versus Tay Conti.
The Bunny looks like the other girl. The other fucking AEW chick.
There's a lot of gimmick infringement going on.
Yeah. I like Tay Conti. Tay Conti is going to be a star. I like her. And she could wrestle because she has jiu-jitsu background. She's a judokan, you know what I mean? So
yeah. It was I think that they came and they did what they were supposed to do in that match. You know, they brought it. I'm not going to shit on them too much. Because to be honest with you, people, I'm gonna be realistic with y'all. I didn't really give a fuck about either of these two, so it was a little bit on the speed search. But I watched some of it, and the little bit that I did watch, I was like, okay, this is cool, but not cool enough for me to continue to give a fuck.
If those type of matches with like Tay Conti,
I'm sorry.
No, it's true.
You know what I mean? It was like, I'm just being honest. Like it was one of those things that, you know how you're watching it, and then your phone rings, and then you just start to like go on the phone or like
it's like that Netflix background noise when you fold it on.
Yes, and then when they were over, I was like, "Oh, brass knuckles, yay!" Like, cute. Let's see.
And that's why we're fast forward. Like I fucked up. I was talking about Dynamite, like the Christian Cage and with Don Callis and shit like that. I blended the shows. That shit actually happened on Rampage. I fucked up.
Yep, that's fine because we're right. We're here to it now.
So. That was my favorite where they got real about it. They'd even, first of all, I didn't see anything. When was fucking Dan Lambert's thing? He cut a promo. Was that on? I think that happened last week. No, he did it again. He cut another one. He was in the back. He was with Scorpio Sky. Because remember, Scorpio Sky used to fight MMA. He was talking shit. He's like, you guys like this dumpster shit. Yo, he was going in about the
company. Yeah. Oh, yeah. Because that's why, because Cornette was trending because everybody kept saying that he was doing Cornette.
It was,
he's not lying.
First of all, Dan Lambert, amazing figure in MMA with American top owner. He's a black belt. He's a big professional wrestling fan. He's always told one of his fighters, like, please, Trent, just go to it. He's had all the belts. He wants a pro wrestling belt.
Yeah.
The thing with him, what's cool is like he's a 60-something-year-old man. Better Jungle Boy needs to get with Dan Lambert, son, because Dan Lambert will cut that fucking rug instantly with the quickness. He will cut such a good promo that Jungle Boy's overgrown sideburns will singe off because that motherfucker could spit a promo. He was coming at the fans. This is the bullshit you want, etc., etc. I'm like, yo, and this is why I'm saying AEW is getting self-aware because the next day on Rampage, right? Excuse me, that Friday on Rampage. At the end of the show, we get the whole thing with Christian Cage and with Kenny Omega, Brandon Cutler, and
Frankie Kazarian.
Yeah, Frankie Kazarian, right? Of Don Callis saying, like, you were just always a number 2. All that shit. And it's like, and the carny piece of shit and all that. Like, Christian, it's a little getting corny. The carny piece of shit. You know what I mean? Like, it's
another, I guess, for me, like, listen, for me to, once again, why do I give a fuck about this when you gave it to me for free already? And he already lost the one belt. And then on top of that, I've already said Christian to me is the top guy depending on who he's working with. And I can't have Christian and Christian Light fighting for the title because I just don't buy it. I can't get into it. I'm not into Omega. I really would have preferred Christian to stay retired. And that's I'm not disrespecting his skills. What I mean by that is the way he left off, I was cool with. Like, I was like, you don't need to do this, dog. Like, you could be like, the only reason that we're cool with Edge doing this is because it was taken away from him, and now he's got their second chance. It's a ready-made story. And then on top of that, Edge was fucking Edge. It's too late for you. It is what it is. No disrespect. Like, it is no disrespect. I don't need to see it. Maybe you could sell me on it if maybe he was somebody's manager or something. You could sell me on that, but I don't need to see Yeah.
The best coaches are the ones who couldn't play. And I'm not saying Christian cannot play.
Oh, Christian can play.
He could play, but he just doesn't have that it factor. He's really good professional wrestler. That motherfucker, you can count on him with everything. But can we get to something?
A legend in the listen, he is a main event top guy, tag team guy.
Remember the 5-second pose? Remember that shit? Remember when he did with Edge and shit? Dude.
He's a top guy, and you can
tag teams, TLC, everything.
If you wanted to, he's the perfect. So he's a Christian. If you're gonna bring him into AEW, it should have been like, listen here, dog. We don't want to make Edge and Christian 2 over here. We don't want to do that. You can be your new updated Christian. We want to give you a tag team partner. Eventually, a guy in a few years that eventually can maybe go off on his own, but who needs to be in development under a top guy to understand how to conduct themselves as a top guy. Make that guy and Christian a fucking tag team. Have the sensei student thing. Let them take off a little bit, and then you can eventually go on. But like, he's a top guy in that realm, but he's not. He is not a top singles guy. He's just not. He's not that guy. He's not. I don't. And you couldn't pay me enough to say he is.
Let's talk about.
That's a lie. You could, but you know what I mean.
Let's talk about someone who's not a top guy, and I don't know what incriminating evidence they have of him where he is doing this type of bullshit. Frankie Kazarian, my man, in the full Air Jordan jumpsuit, just looking like a fucking damn fool. Like, why? Like, I just feel that when dudes have to do shit like this, I'm not saying Frank Kazarian is the greatest wrestler, but not even give this motherfucker a chance. He's doing this foolishness. Have more respect for yourself. That's how I feel about it, bro.
Hold on. So it's Frankie Kazarian. Is that the one that came from? He came from what's that place called? TNA, right? Like, wasn't he in TNA for a little bit too?
I forget.
Yeah, he was. No, he was. Yeah. I remember. I get it. I just
I apologize. I talked all this shit and I did not mean Frankie Kazarian. I literally fucked up the names, and that was my bad. Frankie Kazarian, I feel bad for. He is so talented. That motherfucker could wrestle. He just doesn't have personality. They call him like the elite hunter or whatever. I like his gimmick right now. I was reading the wrong thing. I meant Brandon Cutler.
Mm-hmm.
That's who I meant. Frankie, because I'm trying to read it, everything like that. Frankie Kazarian, I like Frankie Kazarian. I think he plays the perfect role, but I think he needs to get out of tag teams and stop being like the hitman. That he needs to do his own thing. Like him and
he could be the hitman, but he could be the paid for hire mercenary.
Yeah, Him versus Jake Hager would be a good match. Two big, tall, lengthy motherfuckers who both look like they got a mean streak. Because you look at Frank Kazarian, he's a little older, you know what I'm saying? But he looked like he'll fuck you up. I like Frank Kazarian, and I apologize. I didn't mean Frank. I meant Brandon Cutler. What the fuck are they doing with this kid, yo? He's not the one from TNA. That's why I said I was looking at Brandon Cutler, I meant. In the jumpsuit, doing all this extra shit, being a goomba with a fucking white, spraying icy hot or whatever on dudes. I can't do it.
It's outlaw macho goof shit, and you got it with your top guys, and then you wonder why people don't give a fuck, because you got outlaw macho goofs, and I can't take this shit anymore. It sucks. It's just terrible. The only thing you got going on for you at AEW is goddamn CM Punk, Alan Darby, and I know James E don't like him, but
Darby Allin, motherfucker, put some respect on his name.
What I say?
Alan Darby. It's not Daniel Bryanson.
Okay. Yeah. Darby Allin and the goddamn the Lucha Brothers and goddamn Jurassic Express. Those are the only shit you got going on.
Jurassic. All right. Do you like Marco Stunt? I fuck with Marco Stunt.
Yeah. Oh, FTR, you got it good too, but y'all never gonna showcase them.
They get their pee slapped? Why are they not on TV?
I don't know what it is, but then they're even the way that, and I don't. They even like the feud that we got with them and Santina and Ortiz, that should have been more mainstay, I believe.
Santina, put some respect on his name.
No, Santana. But no, that's what I'm saying. I said Santana and Ortiz.
You said Santina.
Santana, my bad. I wasn't even trying to.
I thought you were throwing some slick shit.
No, my bad. I actually fuck with Santana and Ortiz. Those are my guys. But listen here, people. We'll be back. Unfortunately, to this AEW bullshit. But come check us out on next week, Monday. We're gonna be fucking discussing Raw and all the shit and Raw and SmackDown. And let's see if anything offended us or made us mad or fucking made us go and speed search for this shit. Because let me tell you something. Yeah, AEW. Yeah, we'll be back to cover more AEW. I guess, fucking, and AEW stuff. We'll be back for AEW. But this is the No Sell Podcast, where we don't sell shit because we don't give a goddamn about anything and anybody. And you know what? We're going to also start talking about some real wrestling, some old school wrestling. We're going to talk about NWA stuff. We're going to get in ROH because I need to really cleanse my wrestling palate from fucking sports entertainment and sports entertainment double light. We may have to talk some real professional wrestling. We're going to have to sprinkle that in here. Maybe talk about a good match. Maybe, you know what I'm saying? Like, we can cover the Raw, the SmackDown. We can cover the Dynamite and the Rampage, but sprinkle in there a really good quality wrestling match that we all can be excited about, or mainly me when I got to watch this shit. Because guess what? Let me tell you something. Don't matter if it was WWE or don't matter if it was goddamn AEW. I was reminded why I don't watch full shows, and usually I pick my spots with guys I care about, because watching it fully hurts my heart sometimes. Let me tell you something. One other thing before we leave here, NXT. I know this ain't WWE. We're talking about AEW. I want to say this to the NXT people. Why did O lose clean to another good guy? Why did you have him facing another good guy? You had two baby faces in the finals. What are we doing here, people? And listen, I'm not going to say that Carmelo is not that. Carmelo is a beast. He's got it. But, okay, if you were going to do this, then why not have the Duke guy, the other big bastard in the tournament? Why didn't he beat up O before the match? Because remember, him and O had that look in confrontation a few weeks ago. He could have beat the shit out of O in the back. Then your goddamn officials could have said, oh, you can't compete. He could have been like, no, I'm going to compete. Do the whole babyface fire thing. Have him go out there and fight Carmelo, and then fuck Carmelo Hayes, and then he can lose the match then, and then you can make it so that he didn't truthfully lose clean. He got jumped in the back. The other guy, Carmelo, wins the goddamn championship. Goes right off into a program with the other bastard who fucked him over. But you got this man losing clean to this guy, and let's be honest, babyface versus babyface, you are naturally going to go for the smaller guy in this equation because literally looks like he could eat him and his family without having to break a sweat. I did not appreciate that shit. You're fucking with my man O. You're fucking with his character. You're fucking with his money. This guy is, you made him a babyface for a reason. Because he's got that goddamn smile. He fucking puts people at ease, but then he's big. He's got the power. Fucking use it right. Don't fuck my man over. Stop the nonsense. I know everybody is a little scared about this goddamn NXT change and shit. I actually have some hope. You want to know why? Because allegedly it's supposed to be getting behind guys like my man O, because that's your goddamn future, WWE. Don't make me watch this shit and treat my boys foul. I can't take it no more. With that said, I am Dean Gio. Any thoughts? Final words?
You said it all, man. I'm excited for next week. I'm excited to see what happens on Raw, SmackDown, AEW, Dynamite, Rampage. I'm ready to make you watch this carny shit all over again. So until next time.
I really wish, you know what I would love to do, and if they didn't have these goddamn copyright shits, I would love if we would be able to review Volta versus Ilya. Because we're gonna have to get into, because goddamn it, that is wrestling. But all right, people, we gotta. Matter of fact, I think we can talk about that off air. Just because I think you don't. Volta is also someone who needs to be the fucking guy. WWE, I don't know what you need to do, but if you're gonna offer Adam Cole 1.3 whatever money you wanted to offer his ass, you better double that shit for Walter to get his ass over here in the States. Because that man is fucking money. Don't get your shit together, WWE. If I don't see Volta versus somebody in the main event at WrestleMania, you're failing me. You're failing me. All right, y'all. I'm sorry. I just had to end on a good note, and I just couldn't end on AEW because it hurts my heart.
You good, baby.
Fucking Kenny Olivier. All right, peace, love, and chicken. We are out.